and welcome back to Survive This Crit. We're the podcast that combines our love for horror movies and RPGs to see if we can survive against Hollywood's most notorious monsters. And welcome back to our RPG of Thanksgiving 2023. Now let's pick it up where Agent Kylie and Joshua left off.
Well, my dad and my sister are gone. They've been taken by this pilgrim man, and we need to find him before the cops do, because the cops don't have the training that we do.
All right.
So can I pull up my sister's location on my phone? Because I do have that, as I mentioned from the beginning of the game.
That's true, you did. Okay, pull it up.
Okay, so I pull up my sister's location on my phone. Where does it say that they are?
All right, so it looks like you can see a dot that's kind of just, well, I'm assuming that for your app, it's like a red dot that kind of bleeps. That's how I would design an app anyways, like that.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the south side of town, her location. So you know if you head directly south, it's on the outskirts of town. You don't really know the area very well, so you don't know what this is going to look like as you approach, but you do know the right direction to go.
That's totally fine. Okay, I get in the car. Joshua and I start to drive away. I let Joshua drive so he can drive fast, extra fast.
I'm speeding. Do you want me to roll another animal handling check?
Depends. I guess you said you're speeding, right? So are you intentionally trying to do something dangerous with the car?
Not dangerous. Just want to get there quick.
All right. So go ahead and roll animal handling again. It looks like you're really excited about this roll.
It's an 11.
It's an 11? Okay.
Yep.
You get there pretty quick. It's one of those situations like with me when I'm in my car and I got my iPhone GPS on and it says you're going to get there in 10 minutes and I get there in 9. I'm like, yeah, speed.
Nice.
Speed.
I beat Google Maps.
So it's that type of situation.
Nice.
So you happen to pull up with 1 minute to spare to beat Apple Maps, by the way. Or Google Maps, whichever one you prefer to use.
Google Maps is superior for sure.
So yeah. Josh, you could have that little moment of giving yourself a high five right there. And you're like on the outskirts of town, and there's just one house that looks abandoned. And go ahead and roll for perception right now.
Both of us or just Joshua?
Both of you.
That was a 12.
Okay. I got a 10.
Got a 10. All right, so it's pretty difficult to see and make out all the details of this house in the dark, but you can tell that it's 2 stories high and that you definitely can't see into it. Like, it's very dark. And that's about as most I'm going to give you with that type of roll.
Okay. I'm going to I'm going to go to the doorway and detect good and evil. I'm going to cast that spell.
Okay. So you can sense that there is a lot of evil coming from underneath the house.
I tell Joshua, I was like, basement's the way to go.
All right. Can we check to see if the door is even locked?
Yes, you can. So at this point, now that you're closer, you can see that all of the front door is boarded up and it's got 2x4s all kind of nailed across it, even going over the frame of the door. And if you jiggle the handle, you'll find that it is also locked. So it's entirely boarded up.
And this is definitely Cori's location.
So this is where Apple Maps led you.
Can I roll investigations to try to find the easiest entry method?
Yes. So go ahead and roll.
All right, I got a 17.
17. So like I said, there's the planks of wood that are nailed across the door for the front door. There's a large window near the front, and it looks like there's just a large piece of plywood that is nailed up against it on the inside of the house. So there's that. There's also a trellis that goes up from the side of the house that you could use to go into a window on the top. But odds are, based off of what you're seeing in this front window, you run the risk of that also being boarded up.
All right, so I turn to Kylie and I say, I think this is a time for violence of action, and we need to storm in quick and hard. And I pull up my Eldritch
I get my
Blaster.
machete out.
Okay.
Can I do my prayer that I would need to do on my flame tongue machete to make sure that it's actually as DEAD intended, radiating heat and extra damage now? So I can do my cleric prayer over it.
Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah, it's radiating heat. That's an attribute to it. No roll necessary.
I have to attune it to use it. That's why I was asking. Make sure I can do that before we storm in.
I'll allow you to just say that you're attuned on it. No big.
Okay.
So using DEAD, extra special technology, cutting edge technology, a wire built into the blade starts to heat up your machete, and it can now cut through with while also dealing radiant damage to whatever it touches.
Yeah, it's fire damage, basically.
Exactly. With the heat of 1,000 suns, but not literally 1,000 suns.
But really, the DEAD lasers that were imprinted onto this machete.
Exactly. So, what do you want to do with your machete?
Joshua, since mine would be giving off a glow, these flames shed a bright light. Do you want me to go in front so we can see what's coming at us?
What about this? So I can use my Eldritch Blaster to blast in the plywood, holding that plywood that's attached to that window. That should give us a method of entry, and then you can take point as soon as that hole is created.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, with my flaming machete, basically what can happen is the 40 feet around us is bright, and then the 40 feet beyond us is dim. So we can actually see about 80 feet now.
I'm going to blast that plywood.
All right. Blast that plywood. Blast that
I rolled a 19. Is that...
definitely succeeds. You
fantastic.
Definitely blow the entire panel down, and there's just glass. You hear glass shatter everywhere.
Nice.
So now the window is just free and clear for you to just jump right through if you want.
All right, lead the way, Agent Kylie.
But yes. All right, I lead the way with my machete. I'm armed. I also have obviously other tricks up my sleeve, but I still have my pistol on me, and I'm holding my machete. I'm ready, and it is guiding the light 40 feet in front of us and 40 feet of dim light beyond that 40 feet.
Okay. So, since you have your light on you, go ahead and roll for perception to see if there's anything around you that you might want to notice.
I rolled an 8. Can I do investigation instead?
No, this is a perception. Investigation would be actively looking.
I rolled a perception check.
What'd you get?
I got a dirty 20.
A dirty 20. All right. So, as you're both trying to step through the window, Kylie, you're about to take a step forward, and then Josh, you start to notice a little slight shimmer of a line, like a wire. It's about as high as a person's ankle. And you can
Freeze. I'm just calling that out to Kylie.
Oh.
Freeze. We got a wire.
All right. We got a wire. Okay, so...
Can I investigate it?
Yeah, go ahead and investigate. You're now aware that there's some traps going on here.
I got a 13.
You can see that it goes across the entire length of the living room, leading into the dining room area, and you can see that it leads up to a scythe, where if the string were broken, the scythe would come slashing right down at whoever is in the path.
I tell Kylie, hey, let's set this off real quick and push forward. That way we, don't get affected by it. So we back off a safe distance, and I shoot the wire with my Eldritch Blaster, which is force damage, so that should trip it.
Boom! That wire's gone, and the scythe just comes right down. Because neither of you have actually gone into the path and tripped the wire, the scythe just slashes right in front of you, barely missing you, and digs right into the wall. That is to your left.
Nice. I make a note to myself that I want to come back and grab that scythe because it would look really good in my collection.
Okay. Fair enough. Now what are you guys going to do?
Head
Can I
downstairs.
do an investigation check to see if I can find the nearest path to the basement?
Yes, you may. So, what do you got?
I got an 18.
Okay, so you look around the room. Right now, where you're standing is basically the dining room area, and the kitchen is towards the back of it. And in the kitchen, you can hear faint voices coming from behind a door that is on the very rear wall of the kitchen.
I kind
With
of
that information, what you go?
I feel like this could be a trap though, but I do kind of elbow Joshua and say, like, I signal to him that I'm hearing voices from behind the kitchen and that we need to be quiet.
What's the signal look like? Wow.
Okay. The signal, let me narrate it for our audio audience as well as I'm saying it. I say, I do a walking symbol toward the food to make sure he knows that it's the kitchen. And I do like a wall and say, like, it's behind that wall. And that's kind of the very, very basic signaling that I use. And because we're married, we have telepathy.
Okay,
So
that's...
I feel like he's got to be able to read me.
Let's ask Josh. Josh, do you understand what she'd be saying?
So I actually speak sign, so that's one of my languages, one of my characters'
Oh,
languages.
Your
I
character's language.
respond in fluent sign language and say, okay, we're gonna go to the kitchen quietly, and then we'll link up at the stairwell, reconvene, so that we can head down together.
Okay.
And I say all that in sign.
Yeah. I quietly make my way over to the kitchen.
All right. As you walk across, I'm going to have to ask you to make a dexterity check right now.
Dexterity saving throw or just a check?
Yes, dexterity saving throw. My bad.
Damn it. 19, baby.
Okay.
Hey, I got a 19 as well.
As you walking through the dining room and crossing the area that is then the kitchen, there is a threshold that leads over into the main foyer of the house. And
Okay.
through that entrance, you start to notice a axe coming right down at you. But because you both saved yourselves, you happen to just barely miss it by a hair as this axe comes down, and then a man or woman, who knows, wearing a pilgrim mask, because you guys, I don't know, how well do you know Plymouth, Massachusetts history?
Let me roll a history check and I'll let you know. I
Okay.
rolled a
Yeah, I see the
13.
mask and I think pilgrim. That's all that goes through my mind.
I got a 13.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's enough. You're gonna be, that's the John Carver mask.
Yeah,
Whoa,
I say
John
to Joshua
Carver.
as I dodge out of the way, that's our guy!
That's
I
John
shoot
Carver.
him with my electric blaster.
Nice.
All right, roll to see if you hit.
Oh my gosh. I got an 8.
He dodges it.
I'm going to attack him with my flaming machete, and I am going to roll. That is a 15.
Okay, so that hits. What do you got?
It will be a 2d6 plus 1. So let me roll that real quick. That's 9 damage.
Okay, so takes 9 damage. When he chopped down with his axe, he hit it into the ground, and he had to take a moment to try and pull it out, and you took advantage of that moment. And you got a nice, good, clean scratch on him with your blade. And
Okay.
you definitely singed his clothes, and you can see that there's a cut across the pilgrim's, we'll just call him John Carver. You can see across his tricep, a nice good cut. Because it's also hot, it cauterized the wound real fast.
No!
So,
DM, I have a question.
Yes.
At this point, given that we're DEAD agents used to dealing with the paranormal, based on the fact that this guy's arm bled and then cauterized, can we at least verify that he's human?
yes, you can.
Okay.
He is indeed human.
I do give Joshua a nod saying this one's human. just in case if there's anything that we need to do differently as DEAD agents, I make sure that we're aware this one is human. So we have to kill according to human rules.
All right, so
don't be too brutal with this one. It's only a human.
Exactly.
It's
Show some humanity. So since everyone's had their fair shot at taking a blow at each other, now we're gonna do initiative to actually see how the turns are gonna go. So
Okay.
let's go for that.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay. And Josh?
I'm clearly
I rolled a
pissed
1.
that he kidnapped my dad.
I rolled a 1.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, with that roll, I'm gonna say you don't get to play the first round. So you go last, Josh. Kylie, you're second. He's third he's first because he got 22. And Josh, you're just not gonna go the first round because of your 1.
Okay, so for me, what I'm gonna do.
Whoa! He got 22. He's going first, Kylie.
Oh.
Let's chill out. Let's push the brakes a little bit here, okay? Let's wait your turn.
We're just excited to kill this guy. We're excited to kill him.
You're fighting a human. Let's show some humanity here. All right.
I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm so ready.
Okay. So he is going to come at you with his axe, and he's got steady aim built in. So
Okay.
he gets advantage on this attack.
Fair.
So he comes at you, winds his axe back up again, and let's see. That's first one is a 6,
That's a miss.
and with the advantage he had, John Carver did at best roll a 14 against you, Kylie, which unfortunately does not succeed. And he comes at you with that axe again. He misses, but then, still within his turn, he uses his bonus action to disengage, or rather hide. So he hides within the shadows of the room, and suddenly he disappears, and you don't see him. Yes.
Question. With my 80 feet of light that I cast with my... He's outside of that 80-foot range.
Ooh, fair point. Okay, so you have 80 feet of light. So
Yeah, 40 feet of clear light, and then an additional 40 of dim light.
okay, so given the size of the house, you basically only have about 40 feet of space, anyways. So
Okay.
what he's going to do is he comes at you, attacks you, and then he's going to kind of do like a quick, like he's got Michael Jackson style moves. He kind of is like a little twirl, not twirl, but like a spin, and goes and hides behind the wall through the entrance that leads to the grand foyer again. And
As he
guys,
says, hee hee.
exactly. There's a little spin like this, whoosh, flourish.
Love that for him. I'm gonna love hurting him even more. Okay, cool. So for my move, then, you said I'm 40 feet away from him now, basically. That's what you're saying.
No. So the room itself that you're currently in, I'm going to say about 40 feet long. So you're about halfway to the door, which is at the very end that leads to the basement. That makes 20, so you're in the middle. You're 20 feet from where you were in the window, and 20 feet from the door. And there's, to your left, would be the entrance to the foyer of the house.
Which is where he hid behind.
Yeah.
Joshua, I'm not gonna lie, I almost want to split up and want one of us to go to the basement and one of us to go to... I give you like the glance of like looking toward the basement and looking toward you and looking toward the wall, and I see you shaking your head.
I'm shaking my head no, and I'm like, this guy. My eyes are on this guy.
I kind of tuck my machete away and I get out my flamethrower and I cast Sacred Flame.
Because you're dealing with the rogue, Kylie, I'm going to ask you, as you walk across the entrance to the foyer, he tries to trip you. He sneaks up on you somehow and trips you. So go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw right now.
I got an 18. So now he
Got
needs
18?
to make a dexterity saving throw because he's right up on my grill, and I'm going to shoot fire into his face and deal extra damage.
All right, here we go. He has no idea what he's dealing with right now. He just thinks you guys are regular people. Okay.
That's how we like them to think.
Okay. Dex saving throw. He's got 23.
Okay, so there was no point in even me casting, but I do shoot flames out of him, out of my portable flamethrower, which I hope at least takes him by surprise.
He is shocked. He's like, whoa, you brought flames to this. But clearly he doesn't talk because, assassin. He knows better than to reveal his or her voice.
But I can see behind the mask the fear in his eyes. And I say, I can do this all day. You might as well stop while you're ahead.
He shows no reaction. You just see the cold stone blank mask and no reaction whatsoever. He's not afraid.
Just the fear behind his eyes. I can see that.
And he can see the fear behind yours.
Yeah, of course
All right.
I'm afraid for my family. It's a good
All right,
fighting.
Josh, now you finally get your turn.
I'm finally up. All right,
He's
so
good.
I see this guy, right?
Yes.
He's right in front of me.
You are still in the dining room / kitchen area. So technically he's behind a wall, but he's not too far away from you. So I'm not going to say he's directly.
He's around a wall, but close enough that I can take a couple steps and then take an action
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm gonna throw a dagger at his face.
Woo! All right. Let's see it.
I just rolled a nat 20, which is a 26.
Roll double damage, babe! I'm so proud.
Okay.
That's a, let's see, 2d4 plus 4, which is 10. So that's 10 on the first damage, and then 6 on the next one. So that's 16 damage.
Ooh. Okay. I regret to inform you that he has uncanny dodge, so that damage gets halved. So it's 8 damage to him, but you still make it.
Where did the dagger land? Did it land on his face, like I was aiming for?
Yes, you. So the dagger lands and it goes straight into his shoulder. So
I was trying to get the mask and the knife, so he couldn't take the mask off. You know what I mean?
ooh.
That's what I'm trying to do.
I
have another dagger.
So, you have another dagger. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got the knife stuck in him now. He's gonna go ahead with his turn, and he's gonna take his axe and make another swing at Kylie, who's closer to him. And with his steady aim, he's got that nice sweet advantage on it. First is a 5, second is a 9. He misses, unfortunately. Okay, at this point, he can use a bonus action to disengage and then run away. So he sees that he misses you, and with speed like none other, before you have a chance to react, he goes ahead and runs up the stairs, and he's now at the
Can I
top
take
of
an
the stairs. You can still see
opportunity
it.
attack?
No, because he disengaged and he's got mastery to make sure that you cannot take an opportunity attack on it.
Okay, because I have opportunity attack, but if he has something to counter opportunity attack, I see.
Yeah. Well, he's got an ability called Withdraw that says immediately after the attack he can move up to half his speed. Plus, he's got Cunning Action, which allows him to disengage from a fight as a bonus action. So between those two, he can.
So he
can
just
break
ran
away
away
from
from
a
the
fight.
fight.
Yeah. He
I
ran
yell
away from the fight.
insultingly at him as he's running away. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought you would do. And Joshua, I do think one of us needs to go free the people in the basement. It can be me or you, but one of us needs to go take him out, and one of us needs to go free people in the meantime.
It's a bad idea to split up. It's a bad idea to split
But-
up.
Do you want to both
This
go to the
is
basement then?
Day one training, you don't split up. You always
Fine,
stay
then
with
I'm
your
going to the
buddy.
basement. I'm going to
All right,
the
let's
basement.
go.
You can choose to follow me. Okay, so I leave him alone for a minute. I mean, I totally assume John Carver is going to escape. Blah, I don't care. I'd rather make sure my family's okay. So I do go down to the basement to make sure they're okay.
So I'm going to say that it took you one move to get to the door. So while you're heading towards the door, Josh, where are you heading?
I'm following her. We don't split
Following
up.
her?
We're still, armed and ready, but we are going down
Yeah.
to the basement.
Okay, so you reach for the door handle. As you reach, the door handle itself starts to burn. Like it's searing, like it's hot.
Of course it is.
So I'm going to ask
Here,
you to
let me
take
shoot.
1d4 of burn damage. See how
Let me
badly
shoot the
this
door
burns
down.
your hand.
Do we both take 1d4 or is it just me because I touched the door handle?
Just you. You touch the door handle.
Okay. I take 4 damage. So my hand has a
And I-
gnarly doorknob scar.
And I say,
Okay.
hey, let me shoot the door down.
Give him my
And
thumbs
I
up.
shoot the door with my Eldritch Blaster.
Okay, you succeed in doing so, and the door just goes flying off the hinges, and you see a door or a stairway leading down into a deep, dark basement. Now, Kylie,
With
you have
my
your lights.
flaming weapon,
Okay.
how
Yes, with
far
your flaming
can we see
weapon.
in front of us? If
You
I'm
can
using
see-
it to guide.
With your flaming weapon, you can see down about the stairway itself is about 15 feet down, so you can see all the way down to the base of the stairs. But then there's a little turn off to the right, and you can't see after that. It's mostly just shadow or pretty dim.
Okay.
But as you go down the
Um,
stairs, you'll be able to see more.
Yeah, so quietly, stealthily, I go down the stairs with Joshua flanking my back.
Okay.
I've got her 6.
All right. Go ahead and before you start making the way down, roll for perception.
That's a dirty 20.
30-20. Josh, what do you get?
Perception for the rear, I got 13.
13. All right, Josh, you don't notice anything, but Kylie, you see that some of the steps across the stairs have something odd about them. One of them has like this, what looks like black gunk on it, and the other one just looks like it's shining, like shimmering, like it's oily.
Okay, so I do give Joshua a word of
And you
caution.
see like a
that
thick nail coming out of another one that you could
how
easily
sturdy
step
is
on.
the stair rail that we're next to? The stair rail of the basement. Can I do like a little shake on it and see how sturdy it is?
Oh, yes. Go ahead, and if you were, I guess, yeah, roll a perception check on that.
That's a 22, so that's a natural 20.
Okay, so that rail looks like it's pretty flimsy. Like it'll handle like a regular walking pace, but if you put your full weight onto the rail, it will fall off, and you will,
And then
fall down.
what is it? A wall on the other side of us? Is that what's on the other
Yes,
side?
it's a wall on the other side of you.
Okay, so I do give Joshua a word of caution of like, hey, there are things on this ground that look both like they could cause us to slip or get stuck.
Okay. So I'm going to have to ask you to make an acrobatics check, but because you succeeded so well on perception, I'll give you advantage on the acrobatics check to make sure you avoid the booby-trapped steps.
That's good, because I got a 6 on my first... Oh my gosh, the highest one I got was 6. Are you kidding me?
Okay. And Josh, what do you got?
I got a 19 and 11, so 19.
Okay. So, Josh, you're able to avoid the steps by just, stepping over them. Unfortunately, Kylie, in her clumsiness, even though she saw the booby-trap steps, she still
Yep.
fell and slipped on the step with oil. It's a bunch of baby
Okay.
oil. The same type of oil you see at P. Diddy's house. And
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. All right, P. Diddy.
and Kylie, you trip and you accidentally land on that big stinking nail that was in the ground, or that was in the front of the other step. And
What
you're
part of
gonna
my
take
body
another-
lands on the nail?
Good question. I'm gonna say it's your.
Elbow.
Joshua, you're on my side.
Okay, so I was gonna roll, and the higher the roll, the more dangerous a body part it was going to be.
Yeah.
I got a 20.
Okay,
Kylie,
bring it on.
you slip, you fall, and you clumsily land cheek first into this nail, and it pierces through your cheek. And you're going to take 1d6 of damage.
Okay, that's fully what I expected from you, Nick. Thank you. Okay, that is 5 damage.
That's going to be a gnarly scar.
Yeah. So the first
Your
thing
choice, Kylie. If you could just pull out pull out from the nail, and just have this sick hole in your cheek.
That's what I'm going to do, but I'm very quickly going to raise my machete to my cheek and cauterize the wound. So,
a lot of cauterizing going on.
So Joshua sees his wife go from this on the ground where my chin, I'm swearing, and like you can tell I'm holding back tears as much as I possibly can as Joshua's on the bottom of the steps. And I take one big deep breath in and I just yank my face free. And there's blood that's coming out, and I very quickly, as I'm biting my tongue, bring my machete, the side of it, to my face, and Joshua can just hear the singeing of my flesh as I'm cauterizing the gaping wound on my cheek. And I'm screaming all sorts of profanities at this point, but I'm holding it together. It's more of the ego of the wound than the actual pain of it.
And I say, hey, you should watch your step.
Oh boy.
Can I punch him?
Not the right thing.
Is that a acceptable move?
You want to make an unarmed strike against your husband?
I'm really thinking about it.
That's a good one.
You're so funny.
Okay.
Give myself another high five.
I won't punch my husband who has just laughed at me after cauterizing a wound, which is probably the most badass thing I could have done. Instead, I just kind of push him out of the way and continue down the stairs toward whatever is around the corner. I'm armed, I'm ready, and I'm pissed at this point.
Let's go.
Okay. And as you walk across
I don't walk across the corner. I am going to do a perception check before I go around the corner.
Okay, do a perception check.
Joshua, I'm going to need you to do a perception check because I only got 5.
21.
Josh, you see there's a tripwire right across at the base of the stairs. Another tripwire.
Hey, there's a tripwire up ahead. Let me set it off real quick. And I shoot it.
Yeah. You shoot. And then whoosh, swoosh, right across your faces goes one of those, what are they called? The 3-pronged, like, hay barrel things.
Oh, yeah.
Like used for scooping up hay.
Like I don't remember the name of it. Like a fancy rake. It's a,
exactly.
Trident. Like a trident, kind of.
Okay, I think at this point we all know what we're trying to describe here.
Yeah.
But point is, it goes swooshing across your face. It lands into the wall. It kind of does a little like shake, like it just kind of like bends in front of you. Congratulations, you dodged another booby trap. Way to go.
It would have gotten me otherwise. So can we then carefully, perceptively go around this corner? And
yes,
the basement
you
at this
go
point?
around this corner.
Okay.
You go around the corner, and now your light shines through the room. You can see a big, like an extremely large oven on one side of you, and towards, past that, you can see a table with people sitting around it. And if you walk closer, if you decide to walk closer, you might be able to tell who's all sitting around that table.
Joshua, what you'd like to do?
Let's run up and free everyone so we can get out of here.
Let's roll a check though to like make sure we're not going to trip over another booby wire or something.
Okay.
He's home alone this house, baby.
He seriously has. Okay. My perception was terrible. I'm going to need you to roll another one because I only got a 5 again.
All right. Perception check. That is a 16.
A 16.
Nice.
Okay. Josh, you can tell that there's the faint scent of gas in the air.
Kylie, there's gas. You may want to unlight your sword.
I quickly disarm my sword and put it back in my pocket. I get my nails ready, my poisonous nails, in case if I need to go hand to hand with anybody.
Can we see at all?
So
there's actually in the house.
There's a little bit of dim light between where you are and the oven is, about 10 feet in front of you. But then past that, there's a dim light hanging over the table itself.
Got it.
So it's not really all that dark. It's pretty dark. We'll call it dim. Everything's pretty dim around you. And you can also hear kind of like a gas pipe, because I told you could smell that gas. There's a little gas pipe leaking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Joshua, can we... I'd like to go closer, but I want to make sure we're not going to trip on anything by going closer. So you smelled the gas.
We just did a perception check and found that it's just a gas leak. So we need to get everyone out of here.
Okay, so we calmly rush to the table, and who do we see?
Okay. As you rush towards the table, in one last sneak attack attempt, a figure from the shadows approaches from the table or behind the table and fires a crossbow at you. Now it's a sneak attack at Josh.
No!
And it's a sneak attack. Because it's a sneak attack, he's got advantage on it. And this time, we're looking at a 13. Does a 13 hit?
13 misses.
Okay, so apparently this killer has really bad aim. Consistently. But he approaches from outside of the shadows, revealing him or herself at the table. And he's got a little voice modulator on now. And you just hear him in this voice modulated tone going,
I'm glad you could join us. There's plenty of seats at the table. Welcome to our Thanksgiving feast, where our guests all consist of those who have wronged the entire idea that is Thanksgiving. With us at the table we have...
And he starts to point at everyone.
We have the corrupter of the town himself, Mr. Thomas Wright. And then, of course, we have people who have participated in that corruption.
And he kind of waves his hand at your father and your sister. And then we also have these teenagers.
Are they awake and alive?
They are awake and alive. They're clearly tied up, and they have gags in their mouths.
Awesome.
So you can't hear anything discernibly being made. You can hear them like muffle through their voices, but nothing you can actually discern. And then he points and waves over.
And then there's these two darn teenagers that tried to... that really just are... They're total douchebags if you ever actually met them. They play for the Timberwolves. It's ridiculous. I think these kids deserve to die.
Well, good thing we're here.
Welcome.
Because you're wrong.
Welcome.
And then he has a kitchen knife and a giant carving fork in one hand. And he kind of like uses it to make a little sharpening sound. He goes,
I'm glad you could join us, because we have a very large and delicious bird to eat.
And he undoes a little cloth to reveal a giant shape that looks kind of like a turkey, but it's not a turkey. And he mentions,
now, I'm sure Thomas Wright is surely glad that he gets to share this delectable bird with you, because his wife has been working so hard on it.
And then he unveils another cloth, and there at a chair is the head of his wife, Kathleen.
Can I take an opportunity attack while this villain is delivering his monologue?
I was just thinking the same exact thing. Can we do it together? We're so in sync.
Joshua, I want to throw him into the oven and burn him alive. After we get everyone out, of course.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna throw my dagger at my other dagger.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you advantage because it's a sneak attack. He's so distracted by his big monologue that he's trying to do.
Can I cast Hunter's Mark to make Joshua's aim even better, that he can deal extra damage?
Yes, you can. And the way that works in this game is you look at Joshua, Josh, don't forget to breathe.
Joshua, don't forget to breathe. You got this. And I am creeping closer to where I am right at the table now, but my choice move is going to be to give him the Hunter's Mark. You get a 1d6 additional damage if you hit.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I rolled a 22 and a 23.
Ooh.
Yeah!
Okay, you hit. He's got... So go ahead and see if... Well, go ahead and see what damage you deal.
So 1d4 plus 4 and then a d6.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4 plus 4, 8 plus 1d6. That's 3. So
that's
11 damage.
11 damage. Because he's got a little uncanny dodge going on, he just barely gets out of the way. Not in time to avoid damage, but it does half the amount of damage that he's dealt. So he only takes 5.
It's really
so
obnoxious.
you get a nice little scrape on him. And then he kind of, as he's flourishing around, you no longer have any advantage on sneak attack. He got the 1. Now we're going to roll for initiative here.
All right.
Okay. That is a 20, a dirty 20.
Ooh, okay.
I'm mad at him at this point. Like, my face is scarring. My hand is scarring. I am pissed. I just wanted to have one normal Thanksgiving, and you can't even give me that.
Nope. No normal Thanksgiving here.
I rolled a 14.
All right.
But
so
at the
it's
same
gonna
time,
go
I'm
in
really
order.
thankful because Thanksgiving was getting really boring. So,
But the order of combat's going to go Kylie, then Josh, then our killer, because he got a 10. You go. What do you got?
okay. So, since with my opportunity, I gave him my spell, but I did creep a lot closer. What I'm going to do, since he is within reach, I am just going to fully tackle him, and I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds. So that is a 19 for rolling.
Is that rolling
And
to
I'm like,
tackle or rolling to cast inflict wounds?
It's
That's
rolling to
tackle,
cast
right?
Inflict Wounds, but I have to be
Okay.
touching him.
Let's go ahead and... Which is better for you, athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
Let's go ahead and give you an athletics check to make sure that this tackle actually lands.
That's a 21. So yeah.
Is it 21? Okay. So you launch at him, you get on top of him, and yes, you do indeed cast inflict wounds on him. So
with
what are
my
you looking at here?
poisonous fingernails. So I have him pinned down. I'm basically sitting right on his chest, and with my fingernails that have the acrylic poisonous tips, I cast 3d10 damage. So let me do that real quick. That is 21. And I sink my nails into the sides of his neck, just pinching as hard as I can, specifically with my fingernails and the tips that are on them, to inject as much poison as I can in one turn.
Because you got right on him like that he has no chance to actually dodge. He'll take the full damage from it.
Sweet.
So you said 21?
21.
Whew. All right. So
I haven't even ripped his mask off. I don't even care who he is at this moment. I just am enjoying giving him a lot of pain.
okay, getting some sick pleasure out of it. All right. Okay. So then that makes it Josh's move. What are you going to do, Josh?
Well, Kylie's on top of him, right?
Yes.
Like choking him.
So bear in mind that
with
needs to be a
the boss.
factor.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'd like to take the dagger out of him and stab him again with it.
The dagger you threw earlier. So you're gonna go up to him, you're gonna grab the dagger, pull it out, and try and get at him again.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Let's go for it.
All right.
So you're gonna run up.
Do I need to do athletics to see if I can get the dagger, or can I just make the attack?
You can just make the attack.
Okay. So that is a 8 plus 6, 14.
You miss, unfortunately. The dagger does not hit. Now, at this point, he pulls out his own dagger, and he is going to use it on Kylie.
Fair. Completely
So he's
fair.
going to try and plunge his own blade into Kylie's side, and we're looking at, you got a 4. He does not succeed in this.
Does
he is not doing
for
great.
DM's sake, does he get advantage because I am sitting on top of him?
That's
So
true.
do I give
But-
him a clear
well,
target, or is he at disadvantage because I am?
We're going to say it's his steady aim ability that he has
Mhm.
that gives him that advantage.
Okay.
Okay, no, that dropped. He got a 9. That does not hit. Unfortunately, he's just not doing great. You guys,
So-
you should really be thankful this year for how great you are at dodging.
I have a quick question for the DM. What is this
Yes.
person's condition at this point? Are they like, as they're attempting to stab me, do I believe that any of it's actually going to hit? Are they kind of flailing, like because they've just been injected with a whole bunch of necrotic damage? Like how are they doing? to give us like a...
That's difficult to perceive because they have the mask on. So if you want to know, you're going to have to go ahead and roll for perception with disadvantage to really understand, to get a good idea.
Okay. Can I just take the mask off since I have...
You totally can. You
dominating?
can definitely take the mask off.
Okay, so I just rip the mask off his face. What do I see?
What do you see?
Who is it?
Is Old Man Jenkins!
Oh no!
And I would have gotten away with it too!
If it weren't for you meddling kids.
So you pull off this person's mask, and you recognize this person from the store earlier. He was a Right Mart employee, but you have no idea really who this person is. But then,
Okay.
well, actually, no. He's on the ground, so he can't be seen by Thomas Wright, who might be able to identify him. So you just see it's this big bearded man.
Does he look like he's at like less than half health? Does he look like he's dying? Like, what's the general gauge in that?
Oh
regard?
yeah, he totally looks like he's in pain and suffering.
Okay. Joshua.
He's near death.
I say that you and I hold him, brace him on either side, show him to Thomas Wright before we trap him in the oven. But we need to evacuate the people at this point because he's not going anywhere. But we need to figure out this person's identity before we just kill a person. Pull him up with the help of Joshua, and we collectively are like pinning him to the point where he's standing, but he's not escaping our grip.
Okay.
I have my nails on his neck, so that way he knows if he moves, I will just cast that again, and I will sink my nails into his skin.
Okay. So, in that case, how it's going to work is he's going to try and get out, and he'll try and dexterity to see if he escapes unharmed when he does that. But here's the issue. You've successfully pulled him up, you're holding on to him, you're showing him to Thomas Wright, but Thomas Wright has his mouth gagged, so he can't say anything to you about who he is. You're going to have to take some time to go walk around the table and go untie him if that's what you want to do.
Let me see if I have anything in my inventory just to tie up this other guy. I have rope.
Yeah,
Joshua,
rope?
you want to just tie up this guy?
Yeah, let's do it. Where's your rope?
Okay. So I pull my 50 feet of rope appearing out of nowhere in my DEA
Whoa!
bag.
Look at all that rope! 50 feet or so, I would say.
And we tie him up together, and then I can let Joshua, who's probably better at tying things than me, tie him up while I go ungag and untie each individual at the table.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I have a background in rock climbing and, adventurous stuff, so I'm really good with knots. And I can make
All
sure
right.
he doesn't get...
So you tie him up. His hands are behind his back. I'm assuming that's how you're going to tie him up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm hog tying him. His
You're hog
hands
tying him? Ooh.
are tied behind his back and attached to his tied up feet.
Got you. Okay, that's even crazier.
At the
All right.
ankle. Yeah. So he's not going anywhere.
Okay, so he's hogtied, and you guys start untying everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're going to say that you are not challenged in any way by untying them.
Mm-mm.
So who are you starting with? Who's your first person you're untying?
I mean, I'm going to start with my dad and sister, because they're
Yeah,
there.
I'll start with Cori. I'll start with your sister.
I'll start with my dad, and then I'll move on
Okay.
to the store owner.
Okay. So you untie your dad.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Oh, Kylie, thank you. He was going to make me eat bread." Look at
I tell him, I was like, take Cori and go. There's gas in here. We don't know how long this building has. You two go straight up the stairs. Watch out for the tar and the oily stairs and the nails. But you need to leave right now.
Okay, leave and go get that new computer. Yeah, I'll go do that.
Sure. At this point, you've earned a new computer, Dad. Go get your computer.
FIFA, Kylie. FIFA.
Yep, that's all that matters. I know. And I ungag the store owner, too. And I ask him,
Thomas, right?
Thomas, right?
What about the two douchebag teenagers?
I keep their
We can
gags
leave
on,
them
but-
tied for now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, we can untie them, but let's leave their gags on. We don't need to hear them talk.
How interesting. Okay. So you just untie them. Okay, so you're going around in that order. Let's see. So, well, that's going on. Okay, so there's that. And lastly...
Oh, no, Nick is stirring up something
Okay.
in his little cauldron.
So while you were busy untying all those victims, the person that is behind the John Carver mask has
Mhm.
been able to use his sleight of hand to free himself.
He cannot with
From-
my rope. He has to burst with a DC 17 strength check if he's going to do that.
A DC 17 strength check?
Yep.
How specific?
That's
Okay.
what the rope says. I did do my
That's
research
what the
on
rope
this.
says. Okay, so I'll switch that up a bit. We'll give it another shot. Okay. So yeah, he bursts through the rope.
Okay.
He
That's
breaks
fine.
through the rope, but you notice that he was going to try and sneak away, but he got a 1, so you immediately notice this. And
Okay. Which
as
one
a
of
result-
us is closer to him?
you're both equally as close to him. I'm assuming you placed him on the table or in a chair, right? Was it in a chair or on a table?
No. So he was... The way you hog tie someone is their face down, their belly down, and their hands and
That's true.
ankles are tied behind their backs up in the air.
So
And
I'm assuming they're on the table then, because you wanted Thomas Wright to see him, right?
He's
no,
ground.
on the ground.
He's on the ground.
We're not going to
Okay,
lift a grown-ass
so-
man on the table.
He's
That's
prone.
extra work.
If he figured out how
Okay.
to break that rope, then he's just prone on the ground.
Fair enough. Okay, so Kylie, you immediately notice, and so do you, Josh. But Kylie, you're a little bit closer.
I asked Joshua, you want me to finish him off?
Go for it.
Okay, so in true Kylie fashion, I very quickly go over there, I pin him down again and sit on his chest, and I say, I'm going to give you 2 options. You tell me who you are, what you're doing, and I can heal you, or I can kill you right now.
Go ahead and roll for intimidation.
Ah, that was a critical fail.
He does not care what you said.
Okay, then I'm going to kill him.
In one quick reaction that he gets before you have the chance to kill him, he's going to try and throw you off of him.
Mhm.
And we're going to try for an athleticism on that. Oh, he got a 2. He does not succeed in throwing you off of him. So yeah,
I
so you
am
can go ahead
sitting
and
on
do-
his chest, watching him do like a... like,
You know,
down. Have we calmed down now? Before I kill you, I need you to tell me your name.
fine.
What's your name?
He's not going to tell you his name.
Okay.
He's not going to tell you his name. You'll have to kill me before I...
Okay.
I'll
so
never talk. You'll have to kill me.
I tried to cast Inflict Wounds one more time. I think I missed, so would a 13 hit?
13 would be a miss.
Okay. So I do, attempt to inject him one more time, but my nails misfire. So I am still sitting on him, and I have plenty of more toys that I can kill him with. But
Okay.
I missed with that. So I'm gearing
Alright.
up to do something else to him.
Okay, I'll let Josh decide. Do you want to go ahead and take an action to help out Kylie at this point?
Yeah. I still have the dagger that I pulled out of him. So I'm just
Okay.
going to go up to him and hold that to his throat. And take a free action real quick to say, Kylie, is this it? Like, can we just finish this?
Yeah, let's just finish him off at this point.
All right, and so I'm
You
going
don't
to
understand. You don't understand what that man did to me.
I'm going to make an attack roll
right.
on...
Because of him, my wife is dead. My wife is dead because of him.
Yeah.
You're letting a murderer go
Yeah,
free.
I'm sick of hearing you. and I cut his throat.
Okay. So, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Attack with the
So,
dagger.
what was your attack roll?
And because he's pinned down, do I get advantage on this?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. So I got a
No,
14.
You missed.
I don't know how. I had the dagger to his neck.
Josh, you forgot you had the back of the blade to his neck. You didn't have the front of the blade.
No! Can I flip the blade around?
Classic
and
mistake.
Again?
No, because now he's going to try and do another athletics check to bump Kylie off of him. And he still does not do great. This guy needs to go to the gym more. Kylie, whatever you're doing, however you're sitting on him, you're doing great. What do you do now, Kylie?
I look at him and I do recognize that he did say his wife was killed. And I give him one chance. I'm going to do a persuasion check and say, look, we will take you to the cops right now where you will spend the rest of your life in jail for murder and attempting to murder. Would you rather do that and confess your crimes, or would you rather I kill you here?
All right.
DEAD says we have to ask consent before we kill somebody. It's dumb, but...
Wow. Not progressive of them.
That's a 17.
But only when it's humans. But only when it's humans. When it's anything else, you go for the kill.
Yeah.
It says that right in the handbook.
17.
Oh, gosh.
17. You see him start to well up, and he starts to cry, and he's like, I just wanted to avenge my dead wife. At this point, he's blubbering like a small, like a baby. Like, darn it! I would have gotten away with it too.
By that answer, can we tell that if we tie him up and bring him to the top and call the cops, that he's not going to attack us by this move, or should we just kill him? Let's just get him out of here. Let's just, we saved our people.
Okay. So, in that case, yes, I'm going to say that you guys successfully take him out of the house. I'm assuming do you have any type of weapon up on him or something like that?
Oh, sure. I still have my dagger.
I have my nails on his neck, so he knows that I will attempt to dig into him again, because I'm sure he remembers how bad it hurt the first time. That I got him.
You pull him out of the house, and it's up to you. Do you guys call the cops and have them come pick this guy up?
And the fire department, because there's a gas leak.
And the fire department. There is a fire hazard here. Okay, so you go ahead, make your calls, and the officers roll up. And coming out of the cop car is Officer Newland. And as he comes out with his deputy, and they seem shocked and amazed that you have tied up, not really tied up, but you have at knife point and fingernail point. They're a little confused. They don't understand your fingernail thing, Kylie. So like, what? But they're like, what? Who's the? Is this the killer? Is that Mitch Collins? Mitch Collins? You're the John Carver killer? And he goes, yeah. You don't understand. And it sounds like he's about to break into monologue again. But then the deputy interrupts him as, whoa, that's crazy. I mean, if anyone's going to be the killer, I thought it would have been Officer Newland. I mean, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Mitch Collins' wife was actually cheating on Mitch with Officer Newland here. And then suddenly it's like a new sense of life goes into Mitch's eyes as he looks up at Officer Newland. He goes, what? You were sleeping with my wife?
I let Mitch go. I'm like, I'll let him go after the officer. I don't care.
And Officer Newland admits, yes, I would have done the same thing that you were going to do, Mitch, but you know what? I decided that I was actually glad that no one figured out that I was having an affair with your wife, except apparently the deputy, who just revealed all my dirty laundry. Thanks.
Cool.
And then,
all right, let's get out of here.
And Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like there's some drama going on here, but
Can I roll a stealth
luckily
roll
the
and just
officers
leave?
happen to tie him up and they throw him in the back of the cop car. And yeah, you guys have successfully stopped the Thanksgiving killer.
Yay! Go team!
Let me start off by saying thank you to all of our listeners for staying tuned and listening to this adventure where Kylie and Josh have successfully taken on a serial killer. They fought monsters, they fought demons. But could they defeat man himself? The answer? Yes. And man, was it easy.
Enjoyably. It was enjoyable.
Enjoyably
I
easy.
would not say it was easy. I have a gnarly cheek scar and a scar on my hand forming. It was not
Yes.
easy.
And that scar will be canon from now on.
If anyone's an artist, please draw a gnarly cheek scar for my character. That'd be really dope.
But anyways, thank you again to our listeners. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to check out our Instagram.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.